What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In my previous video, I announced that I will be doing a brokerage account challenge. I'm calling this the Schwab 25K challenge. Schwab in no way is sponsoring or associated with this video at all. And if you didn't see that video, it might help to watch that one first, but here's a quick recap. I'm doing a brokerage account challenge where on January 1st, I'm starting with $25,000 in cash in my Schwab brokerage account. I will then be primarily swing trading and selling put option contracts to try and double my money, a 100% return on my investment by the end of the year, December 31st. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to configure my Schwab account with basically the stocks that I'm going to be watching for big swings, and we're also going to purchase kind of the control group, the index fund SWTSX, which is Schwab's total stock market index fund. And this is what my Schwab brokerage account currently looks like. I have no positions currently open. It is 100% cash. It is $25,025. $25 is going to go into that index fund as a comparison, and then I will have $25,000 to actively swing trade with. First, I want to show you which index mutual fund I'm going to be buying as the comparison. So if we go on Schwab's website, explore mutual funds at Schwab, we can then scroll down to the equity funds. It's kind of hard to find. You then want to find fundamental index funds. You then want to avoid the actively managed funds and go to, let's see here, index, equity index, and here it is. SWTSX, this is Schwab's total stock market index fund, expense ratio 0.03, and this is the same as Vanguard's VTI. It's just going to track the entire US stock market. So let's start by buying that index fund for $25. We'll go to trade and then all-in-one trade ticket. We can then enter the symbol SWTSX for Schwab's total stock market mutual fund. It knows it's a mutual fund, so it switches it. We're going to buy and then put in a dollar amount, $25. And we definitely want to reinvest dividends and capital gains. We want that to kind of be baked into the return it'll get over this year. So we'll go ahead and review this order. Now, because it's a mutual fund, it's going to wait until the end of the day for me to buy into the fund. So currently on my positions page with Schwab, it's not showing it's there. However, it will appear later today, and then it will be there in the morning. Now, to find good stocks to swing in and out of, I'm really going to rely on Charles Schwab and their screener. So we'll go up to research and we're going to click on Charles Schwab's stock screener. And this might seem weird to people, but I'm going to be using Schwab's equity ratings to find good stocks to swing in and out of. Now, just because Schwab gives it a good rating doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically swing into that stock. I'm going to do my own fundamental analysis, but there's just so many stocks on the New York Stock Exchange that it's kind of an overload to take it all in. So Schwab is my first line of screening. Now, definitely there might be companies. Well, let me just show you the rating. So Schwab's equity rating is on a range of A, B, C, D, and they're a ranking percentile. So Schwab's research outlook is that A-rated stocks on average will strongly outperform, F-rated stocks on average will strongly underperform the equities market during the next 12 months. So if it's rated an A, it's in the top 10% of stocks according to Schwab, and then you have these next 20, next 40, next 20, bottom 10. So are there companies that Schwab is going to rate as an F that will do well this year? Definitely. Are there companies that Schwab will rate as an A that will do poorly? Once again, for sure. I just like using this as a starting point because once again, there's so many stocks. So I'm only primarily going to be swing trading stocks that Schwab rates as an A or a B, just to kind of weed out the obvious stocks that I don't want to get trapped in. So my method for tracking stocks is going to be a little unusual. I don't know anyone else who does this. However, this method works for me and I really like it. I'm going to be buying fractional shares for $10 each of every company that I want to be following. Now, yes, you can set up a stock watch list and not buy fractional shares. But by having it in my account, it makes it really easy to sort and sift through, and then it's really easy to buy in and out and see exactly how it's been doing. So I'm going to be looking through Schwab's stock screener for S&P 500 companies. I mentioned this in my last video. So we're going to go basic market cap, large and mid cap companies. So there's currently 1,000. So half of these are mid caps that are not in the S&P 500. But we're going to then go to analyst rating and look at Schwab's equity rating to only be in the A and B. So this gets us down to now a stock listing of 252 companies. We can go ahead and click on View 252. Something that I like doing that works for me is if you click on Print, it'll give you a nice PDF. Let's get this to load. And then if you have a printer, you can print it, and then you have basically like a nice handout of all the stocks that you potentially might want to be doing more research on. It's at this point that I'm going to start buying fractional shares of all the companies that potentially I want to watch and swing in and out of. And Schwab makes this really easy. We're going to go up to Trade and then Schwab Stock Slices. Stock Slices is just Schwab's term for fractional shares. It's a fractional share, and it's kind of weird. They want you to do between 1 and 30 at a time, and there's a minimum $5 per stock when you buy a fractional share. So I'm going to start typing in companies, and you'll kind of get what I'm doing in a second. So I have my stock screener printout, and these are the companies that I want to buy fractional shares of in order to watch. So we're going to start with A, Agilent Technologies. Once again, I don't know anything about these companies yet. I'm going to do more research later before I swing into them, but this is going to be basically my watch list. So we'll add a couple more. AAP, Advanced Auto Parts. We'll do AAPL. This is Apple. I've got a list here of 250, and a lot of these are mid caps not in the S&P, so I can't buy fractional shares of them. So I think by the time I get these all inputted, I'll have close to 200 on my watch list. Okay, I got 30 stocks selected into Schwab's stock selector, and we're going to hit continue. Now how this works with Schwab is it's going to say how many per stock do you want to invest. Since I have 30 companies here, I need to put in $300 in order to buy $10 of each of these. So you'll see in a second what's happening. On the review page, there are 30 stocks at $10 each, $300. So I'm buying a fractional share. So for example, of Advanced Auto Parts, this comes out to be a fractional share of 0.063. For Apple, this is 0.0758. We're going to go ahead and execute this. And then boom, just like that, it executed, and I now have 30 stocks in my brokerage account, and it's a fractional share. It's a very small percentage. I only bought $10 per share, $10 of the company. So it's only 0.04% of my account. It's a very small number. It's not significant to me. However, being able to quickly see and access all of these companies and see what's its current price, what's its 52-week high, how much is it gained and lost today, how much total since I bought in, how much have I gained and lost today, what's the ex-dividend date, when was its last dividend date, what's its dividend yield, what's its PE ratio. The fact that I can quickly stratify and sort all of these stocks that I want to be watching, this will help me quickly find good stocks to swing trade in and out of. I'm now going to go back to the stock slice picker and choose probably another 170 companies in order to load in. Based on this screener, these are good companies. I'm probably going to add some more. I'm going to add all the Dow Jones members. I'll add obviously the FANG stocks. I'll add probably a lot of the dividend aristocrat stocks, just any stocks with a lot of name recognition that I think are still good companies and potentially doesn't matter how Schwab rates them. Once again, I might be swing trading stocks that Schwab rates as a F, D, or C, but primarily I'm focusing on the A's and B's to find really good swing opportunities. Okay, I got all the fractional shares loaded into my account. If we scroll to the bottom, we can actually see how many I purchased, and the total is, so the total value of all of them is 1,978. So I think I've actually lost a little bit of value, $2 maybe. So I purchased 198 individual stocks for $10 each one being worth 0.04%. So this is only 7.9% of my $25,000 that I'm starting with. And in a way, I created my own basic mini ETF made up of about 198 stocks. And I'm still collecting dividends, a fraction of a dividend for the $10 that I put into each one of these companies. And you can kind of already see what's going on here. This is my stock tracker. So I want to watch all of these companies to see when a good opportunity to swing in and out is. So if you go over to day change, I can click on this. Actually, let's just go ahead and refresh the page real quick. And when we sort by day change, you can already see that Intel is up 0.9%, so almost 1% for the day. But let's flip it now and see, let's see, Public Storage REITs is down 0.5%. American Tower Corp is down 0.4%. These are potentially good swing opportunities, so I would start investigating the biggest losers of the day to see how much they've fallen in the last couple days, to see if there's been a pullback in the stock price, but it's still a good company. And is it now a good time for me to jump into the stock and hold it for a couple days to potentially a couple weeks? I like also being able to see the PE ratio. We can sort by PE, and oh, Tesla looks a little overvalued there. If we flip it, we sometimes get negative values that don't make any sense, but once you get to the positive numbers, it's interesting to see what some of these companies are valued at. So the PE ratio of Kroger is only 8.26. It's pretty good. The PE ratio of CVS Health Corp is 11. The PE ratio of Western Union is only 12. I also like knowing when the upcoming dividend dates are. So if you sort by X dividend date, I can see when the next dividend payout for a company will be. So if we sort and scroll down, let's see here. So on January 4th, Cisco, Dollar General, Comcast, that's their ex-dividend date. So if I'm swinging and I'm holding a stock on that date, then just as a bonus, I'll get a payout even if I sell it on that date. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to get into my positions before I officially started entering positions next week, but you kind of understand how I watch the stocks now. And when I swing in, I'm probably going to be swinging in between 5 and 15% of my portfolio. So right now I'm shooting for between 2,000 and 2,500. But as my account grows, the positions that I swing into will also grow. I'm also okay with reducing my cost basis. For example, if I swung in $2,000 and the stock kept going down, then I might double up, put another $2,000 in. If it like seriously dropped like another 10%, that would make it easier for me to break even or turn a profit once the share price eventually starts turning. Okay guys, if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Turn on that bell notification so you get notified whenever I upload. I am going to be posting weekly about my Schwab brokerage account challenge, and I will include the playlist down below of all the videos in chronological order so you can follow all my trades, and I hope you get something from this. Till the next video, take care.